Well, a very good evening, everyone, and welcome along to episode 253 of the Studio Rats Q&A Live. My name's James Ivey.
Oh, I'm Paul Drew. That happened a bit quick. We normally have a little delay between you pushing the button and us going live.
I know. First things first, I have to get this out of the way. I'm suffering with what my wife refers to as headphone hair.
It's a massive bouffant you got going on today. I mean, it's like you've got enough hair for both of us there.
Well, you know, you're only jealous. You are all very, very welcome along to our weekly takeover of the interwebs. Lots going on this week. Lots of interesting stuff. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. And I'm not even sure where my hair fits into that. However,
I think it's all of the above, isn't it?
All of the above. However, I don't make the rules. I just follow them. Mr. Drew, what have y'all been up to?
Well, so I'm just eating some chocolate. You came over yesterday.
I did, and we shot quite a lot of video.
Yeah, shot a few videos. Yep. So we did that. We finished off the Super Strat.
Yeah, you edited out all my playing, you bugger.
There wasn't. No, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, there's no reason for that. There's no. Anyway. On the back of that, someone made an offer on the Tom Anderson guitar, so that has gone off. That's already gone down the post office to be posted.
Gone already.
Wow,
that's rapid.
That was it. Yeah, it was like I only had it for a couple of days. So some lucky gentleman's going to be playing that wonderful guitar. Wow. I'm trying to think what else is going on.
I'm going to post the link just while we're chatting. So if anybody wants to come and join the fun, they can do. You don't need to use it. Just if you want to come in, make sure you've got pants on. That goes to you too, Lee.
So what have you been up to?
So the weekend was taken over by my kid's birthday, which isn't actually until tomorrow. But on Monday we decided we'd go to. We decided I was told we were going to Chessington, the World of Adventures theme park place, which was great fun. Came to see you yesterday. Been a very busy day today. I had a session in the studio today for a new client who is a fellow Rat fan, and it went really well. 2 songs. Fantastic. And it sounds really good, really cool stuff. Great original material, and yeah, all is well. Yeah, just busy. It's now. I'm home tomorrow. Then I'm off to Birmingham or Coventry for the weekend. Birmingham, and then next week is Bournemouth. So we'll get this in early. There is no live stream next Wednesday
because we're going out on the beers.
We're going to hit the beers.
I'm just making sure I definitely can. Catherine mentioned something. The old wife mentioned something about doing something Wednesday.
Oh, mistake.
We'll confirm that.
So yeah, no live stream next Wednesday. But do watch this space on that one. Yeah, lots going on. Lots of news. Lots of interesting stuff going on. It's been a good day or a good week for auction buying, but we'll come to that in a minute.
So yeah, loads of people in the comments have mentioned about the Helix live stream.
Yep.
I've been watching it and I'm just going, come on, when's he going to mention something that is
actually interesting?
Well, not actually interesting. It's interesting, but I got bored. So I'm actually
not that interesting though.
No, I'm just hoping at some point he was going to say, "Oh, and we've got capture, and we can now capture amps."
I really want it to be a Steve Jobs moment where they go, "Oh, and just one more thing," and the whole place has gone. But I don't think anyone else is brave enough to do that. Only Steve Jobs was that kind of a showman.
Yeah, he was great at that. Well, maybe they're going to announce that. Maybe they will. If someone's watching it in the background or whatever, let us know if they do announce that. If they haven't. Well done.
More power.
Well done,
great.
Yes. Yeah. Well done. You've updated it in 10 years. Well done, mate.
Yes.
Anyway.
However, it's not about you. It's not about me.
What?
It's all about Vinnie the Axe.
There it is. Wait. First of all, you can take that monstrosity off your wall.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's funny.
You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good. You're very loud.
Am I? Okay, hold on. Let me lower this down. How's that? Better?
Yeah, that's better. That's
Yeah,
better. Yeah,
better?
That's,
Good.
that's perfect, mate.
Okay.
That's perfect. You all right? Everything good? Good week?
Yeah, it was a good week. Got some videos done.
I've seen them. Yeah, good videos. That guitar actually sounds good.
Yes, it does. It's let me grab it so you guys can see it.
Yeah. Come. Show everyone your new guitar. Oh God, we didn't see them though. Jesus.
So no sunshine in Florida.
Yeah, we don't go outside. We catch on fire. I don't.
What the hell is that?
So
I like that. I like that.
You can hold on. You can go.
How very dare you?
oh
damn.
man.
Good
So go on, Vin. Go on.
So this
Tell us about
is a model that's been around for a while with Carvin, and then obviously became Kiesel later on. This is called the Ultra V. It's a 25 scale guitar, not 25 and a half or 24 3/4. So it's like almost like a PRS kind of scale length, I guess you could say. I had one of these years ago. Carvin made it for me, and I had them put that smaller Alan Holsworth headstock on that they only had for that particular model at the time. But I called them up. I had bought so many guitars from them that they actually hooked me up and they did it. And it was a really great, it was probably the best V I ever owned. And then I sold it. And I've been on the hunt for one again, but I wanted to buy one secondhand. So anyway, so this popped up on Reverb. So what I like about this is, even though it looks super hardcore metal, which I don't have any metal guitars in my thing, so I thought that'd be kind of cool. But what I liked about it is it's got a little bit of class to it. So
it's a nice bit. What's that? Is it limber? Is it?
Yeah, black limba. So black limba neck, black limba body. It's got the how do you say, the tongue oil finish neck, but the gloss stops here, which is kind of cool. Which is an option. Everything's an option with them, and then it's got a maple cap. And what they did was whoever the guy that had this built had them do a beveled edge option, so it actually looks like a binding, I guess, in a sense.
I like.
Yeah, it's cool.
Nice. Yeah.
And then
It's a nice touch. I can't get my head around the shape, but
yeah,
but it's that, you know, you can tell that it's been well thought out.
Yeah, the build was good. I mean, I've owned probably, I don't know, 30 Kiesels and maybe 25 Carvins over the years.
Wow.
Maybe. And I think my thing is, it's more of the challenge of the build, or the hunt of the build. And then you get it, you're like, yeah, this is really cool. Now on to the next build. It becomes it becomes an addiction. I probably should have just worked in a guitar factory, and then I could have came up with all these ideas and then not have to go in the poorhouse and buy any of them,
Yeah.
But,
Nice, mate.
Yeah, so that's cool. And then I haven't done a review yet on the Saturn Works blender box, but that came in, and I'm running that on my board to blend the chorus pedal signal from to add a little bit of a dry mix in it. So which is kind of cool. What's that?
You happy with that?
Yeah.
So you happy it up?
Yeah, I tried it a couple of different ways. With it in and out. I'm just gonna unplug it so people can see what the hell I'm talking about. Give me 1 second here. I've tried it a couple of different ways. I ate and beat it, and I prefer with the box instead of without. So here's what it is. They make all kinds of foot switches and different things.
Oh, that's cool.
So your pedal goes into this loop here, and your dry signal goes into the bottom too.
Yeah.
And then you're able to use the knob to blend in however much dry or wet that you want. I'm sure there's many applications for this, but for me, I have a pedal that has a level control, but it doesn't change the amount of wet dry mix. So it kind of just lowers the volume of the whole signal, which I didn't like. So this solved that issue.
Awesome.
Nice.
And then I just did a video experimenting with some Yngwie Malmsteen strings, which you saw.
You did some nice playing on that. It's good.
Oh, thanks. I was like, I have to come up with something Yngwie-ish, but I can't play like him. So I was like, this is going to be quite the challenge.
To be fair, not many can. So yes,
that's true. That's true. I try to make it as least crap as possible. Let's just put it that way.
You did a good job, mate. You did a good job.
It's all good. We'll get on. Yeah, we'll get onto my auction purchases.
Yeah.
Shortly. But let's start wading our way through the comments and stuff. So here we go.
Evening all, been watching some of the Helix 10th anniversary event. Their new products, Helix Stadium, looks great. It looks great. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, it doesn't mean anything until we try it. It's anyone can say, oh, it's got this processing and it's got that in it.
It's
until
there was a great Richard Hammond of Top Gear fame. It does a great impression of when Lamborghini do their marketing. Oh, he's got flames and machine guns and goes super fast, does 1,000,000 miles an hour. And it's all a bit like that at the minute, isn't it? It's all
it's a bit
until we actually.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. I don't think anybody has got an old Helix and gone, shit, I've run out of processing power. Occasionally, possibly, someone's done that. So at the moment, we don't know how it sounds. You can talk all you want about it. It doesn't mean anything until someone's actually heard it or played through it. It's like it's like the Fender Tonemaster Pro. It's like everyone went, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. Fender releasing this, and then people got it in their hands and just went, this isn't very good.
I remember 2 people doing that with the Quad Cortex.
yeah, absolutely. Right. Daniel, good evening, Rat Pack. Really enjoyed your Super Strat elimination video. I'm sure that Paul will be glad to replenish his bank account soon. Bloody right, mate.
That was an expensive video.
It was, yeah. The thing is, like, now I've spent it. Now I've spent the money. I've sold another guitar. I'm going, well, maybe. Okay, live. Evening all, and hey from sunny Brussels. Hey, okay, live. Hope you're well. Anton, evening rats and all. Evening, Anton. Dino Junkie. Yes. What the hell is this? Why are you here?
I love that.
It's so true.
Dude, the end of the video where you cut him off.
No, but the funny thing was, I said to him, that has to be the end of the video.
It kept going after.
There was a amount of planning in that.
I made for good content because I was laughing for 10 minutes over that.
JP, good evening all. Evening, JP. Pets, hello, mate. He said, good evening, my little angels, and hello to Vinnie and Mr. Bloms. I think Lee's on tour. Lee's doing a tour of
Turkey and Sweden. Sorry, Torquay and Swindon.
Lee's on tour with his prog band.
Galahad. That's a great
Galahad, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be tough for him because there's gonna be like 2 men with beards in the audience. Someone might bring a dog.
Drinking warm beer.
The name of the band's cool though.
But yeah, it's a good. It's a good band, and they're really successful.
And they'll both know women.
It is prog. It's a fair. You're making a fair point. It's prog.
It's harsh. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm not. No.
Yeah, Chris. Helix live stream ends just in time to pick up Rat Live. Nice. Did they mention anything about capture? I'm guessing not.
We're getting there. We're getting to it.
Rich said the new Helix Stadium looks amazing. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Dave Hardy, evening rats. Hope you're all mint. Did you buy anything from the recent Gardner Hooligate?
Hooligate, yeah.
Yes, James did.
Yes, I did.
James spent lots of money. I'd have spent some money if I'd have sold that guitar earlier.
There was some real ridiculous deals going on.
There's some good stuff going on. Steve, hello mate. He said just come off the line 6 Helix stream, 2 new units. Oot, nice. Yes, we'll talk about them in the news. I've got pictures. Grigor from Adventures in Gearland says only 1 mention of Atmos in the session today. Very restrained, James. Well done. I bet he plugged it all in though.
I had to move speakers so we could get people in. So I had to move the speaker. So
wow. Hello, by the way. Hello, mate. Hope you are well. Graham says, did you see about PMT going to admin? Okay, I'm glad someone's mentioned this so we didn't have to say this because Yeah, we don't. It hasn't actually been. Has it been confirmed yet, James, by the company? I mean, I think everyone knows what's going on, but has it been confirmed yet?
So, what we can say legally and officially is we have heard rumors, and that gets us out on a legal technicality, that PMT, also known as Play Music Today, have gone into administration.
So Vinnie, just so you're aware, so PMT is probably our equivalent of Guitar Center. It's like our it's our biggest sort of chain.
So admin, does that mean like bankruptcy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You would call it Chapter 11.
Okay.
So they had, I think it was either 9 or 11 stores across the country. I wouldn't say, from a whole range: guitars, drums, PA, high tech recording, keyboards, pianos, pretty much everything. I wouldn't say a super high end store, but they always had some nice stuff. But you wouldn't go there to buy
and good content as well. I mean, with Dagan and and I didn't bass player. What's his name?
No, Danny Sapko was from Gear for Music.
Oh, okay. Oh, apologies. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, losing.
Sadly.
They do have an online presence, and their website is still live. But they were very much a bricks and mortar store. You know, there are lots of stores. Yeah. Many in what I would refer to as the out of town sheds department. There wasn't many in towns. They were mostly big. Out of town shed type places, and generally really good stores, and staffed by nice people. And that's the bit that's particular here. We're looking at about 350 odd staff losing their jobs, which is never a good thing.
Exactly. So our thoughts go out to the staff. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Joe from Passion for Tone says, hello guys, just watching the Helix 10th anniversary live stream. Sounds interesting. I'm sure we'll end up getting one, but
which will we get first? Sorry, mate.
What's that?
Which will we get first? Will we get a Kemper 2 or a Helix 2?
Yeah, well, the Kemper's out, so we'd have to get a Kemper 2 first.
Yeah.
Greetings, folks from Mark's gas station. Greetings, Mark. Gary says, evening rats, my new amp doesn't have an effects loop. Is there a way around this without modding it? Yes, you go and buy a
clonulator
that's got an effects loop. Something like a Boss tone tube amp expander. My brain's gone today. I think it's hay fever. Boss tube amp expander, or some of the Friet stuff has effects loop. So what you do is you feed your amp into. Watch my video. I did a video recently on the tube amp expander, the last one I did. And James actually was.
We did.
Yeah, so we did it. I apologize, James. I forgot you did it with me. Where we put a 5 watt amp without an effects loop into the tube amp expander. That'll explain everything to you. But yes, I'm afraid you've got to buy some extra things.
And it could cost as much as your amplifier, depending on what you're playing through.
True. Yeah, but it also makes it far more usable.
Yeah, because you use it for recording and everything else, which is nice.
Yeah. It makes it really.
It gives you some great effects, and gives you a load box and all that sort of stuff. Lots of good things.
Yeah. Dave Hardy. Golden Hook. Yes, it's all right, mate. We got it. It's all good.
We got that.
Travis, mate. He said they essentially put Ableton in the Helix. Oh, they put. I didn't see. We didn't get to that part. So they put
a looper.
Multi-track. Well, they put a multi-track DAW inside a Helix.
Well, a multi-track looper would make sense because obviously Ableton is primarily loop and sample based, isn't it? It used to be.
Well, no, I mean you can use Ableton as a DAW as well.
Yeah, you can now. You couldn't 5 years ago.
Oh, could you not?
No, it was very trigger this, do that. It wasn't primarily a DAW. It was primarily a loop trigger.
I think 5 years ago it definitely was.
Well,
I did some stuff from. Yeah, maybe when it first came out.
Yeah.
Pet, having never played a custom shop guitar, am I naive in assuming that they're all good? Yes. They are more or less. You've got a much better chance of getting a good guitar from a custom shop. I would say 90% good. Vinnie, what would you say? You've had custom shop.
Yeah, I've had a couple of lemons, but most of the time, I think you're right. 90% I would say are good.
Cool.
Yeah. I'd stay away from the. So if you're talking about Fender custom shops, the basic one. What's the basic custom shop called, Vinny? The one that's basically like an American standard, but the custom shop version.
This is like you mean the standard? The deluxe is well, they keep changing the names. You talk about the custom shop version though? I think
yeah,
it's
the
called
custom
like a journeyman or something is usually like that entry level one,
I
like a
think it's called
Strat.
something deluxe. Anyway, yeah, that's like your basic. I would tend to stay away from those.
But the deluxe is not a custom shop though. The deluxe, the one that's all kitted out, that's like $2,500. That's a standard.
No, that's the
production.
ultra.
Yeah,
That's an
ultra. That's it. I couldn't remember the name of it.
Yeah. The deluxe is the custom shop deluxe, which is like basically a poly finished. They use nice woods. They tend not to be picking the lighter woods, so they tend to be on the heavier side. But made in the custom shop. Still good.
Just do your research. Do your research on what you want, because some of them are like, when you look at them, some of them have different fret wires. Some have like 6,100 frets. Some don't. Yeah. It's really weird. And a lot of the times when you're buying from a shop, it's the shop that's speccing out the custom shop. So you're getting whatever somebody else's idea of what the perfect Strat is. And you might get it and it might not be what you want.
The older custom shops as well tend to be more based on the original guitars. So as Vinny's saying, with the thinner fret wire, while the newer ones tend to be more on the modern appointments like jumbo frets, that sort of stuff. But with looking like an old guitar.
Cool. At this point.
Mr. Niles, thank you, sir. He said, yeah, they will allow you to put a song in, pull out the stems, and mute or replace the parts you want. So you would be playing in the song. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so it's got AI where it can filter out
guitar
that's
cool.
parts and stuff. That's great, actually.
Can I just add something to the custom shop Strat comment?
Yes, mate.
If you want to save some money and, you can trust my judgment, I guess, as best as you can. All the Nashes I've ever owned have all been good. I've never had a bad one. And they're thousands less than a custom shop Strat.
I'd agree with that. Nash is a really good shout.
Cool.
Gary, evening all. A quick question for you and your viewers. Has anyone got a Soldano Astro? I bought mine in November, and second time I've had to send it back.
Oh, that's never good.
Instead of sending it back, I see. All of the Soldano stuff is made by Boutique Amp Distribution. I've had a couple of pieces in where the valves have gone. So, and I've just replaced valves and everything's fine. So I know you shouldn't have to replace valves, but sometimes it can be easier just to make sure it's not a valve issue. And sending it all the way back and then getting another one sent over, and you might have problems with that. I just replace the valves.
Yeah.
Glenn, cheers from Montreal. Cheers, Glenn. Rich said, did they mention capturing is coming to Helix Stadium?
No, they did mention.
Sorry, they did. Oh, great. But they are then.
But is coming. They didn't say is ready at launch.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. I don't think that matters. As long as you know it's coming, that means it's expandable. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done, Line 6. That's brilliant. Right, Alec. Evening Rats, the new Helix Stadium just announced. Holy crap. Grigor says, gotta go eat. Just a quick endorsement for that Valiant T style. Only had a few minutes with it today, but it really felt good. Well done for them packing so much guitar into that price point. So the Valiant that I reviewed the other day, James has got. I sent it over with James, so James can try it out. Did it get used today?
Yep, we did it.
Fantastic.
We did it it got used on this kind of country 6/8 ballad type thing.
Nice.
And it was absolutely the perfect guitar.
And did Louis like it? Louis was the guitar player from the session today, James's.
Yeah, absolutely loved it. It was the perfect size. Loved the switching. It was brilliant. Absolutely bob on the money. Great work from the team at Valiant. Love this thing.
Fantastic. I thought it sounded good in the video. It sounded great. And I liked how they did the switching. I think that's a really smart idea.
It's clever, isn't it? And it also it sort of harks back to that sort of Jaguar Jazzmaster type sort of switching thing that's going on, and I like that because
if we'd have had more time, I would have said we'd do a 2-up. Oh god, it's going to go another thing now, isn't it?
There we go.
We'd do a left and a right double.
Yeah,
with the Jag and that.
nice.
Which was might still do that, but it sounded really cool. I love that guitar.
Yeah, great. Glenn says carving keys will make great instruments. I get it. I think it looks cool on you, Vin, as long as you never pick it up.
It's definitely not a sitting down playing guitar.
No, it does look cool. It does look cool. Pet says, any experience, gents, with the custom shop artisan Buckeye Burl Douglas Squire Telly? The search continues. No, I wouldn't even. That's going to be some sort of limited edition. Buckeye Burl. I don't like Burl. It's too much like it's your granny's coffee table, Pet. Stay well away from that. Guitar Hoodlum. Hello, guys. Great show. Cheers, mate. Always pick up some tips on gear. Thanks. Anytime, mate. Thank you. Dave, PMT in Cambridge has been closed.
It's been closed for a while, though, that one.
Has it?
Yeah, that's one of the... that's quite a small one for PMT standards.
Okay.
I can say that because it's only up the road. And Jamie, the keyboard player on the session today, lives in Cambridge, and we were talking about it. So,
okay. JP, agree. The Helix Stadium looks the biz. It would have been perfect for me back when I was touring in the 90s. These days, not anymore, really, sadly. Yeah. Now it's got. Well, now they've announced capturing. I'm involved. It's brilliant.
I'm not selling any amps for a little while because if we get one, we're going to need an arsenal of amps to start.
Yeah.
It up.
Great. Riken Dog. Do you still think that the Silver Sky is the best PRS guitar? I personally think so. What do you think, Vin?
I think so, and I have an answer for it, and I'll try to keep it short.
Go
on. I think that guitar.
Vin, go and get yours. Go and get it while you're talking. You can show. I love that color.
So usually I'll get rid of something if I just try it out and whatever. But I can't come to grips with selling this. A couple of reasons. One, the market is flooded with these things, so you can get a good deal on one of these used. But the other thing is I think that this thing sounds as close as you're going to get to a vintage Strat in a production guitar. And the other PRS guitars are just trying to emulate the sound of something else, and you're, in my opinion, always left wanting. Like, you know what I mean? Like you buy like a McCarty and you're like, yeah, it sounds just as good as this Les Paul, or it's whatever. And you're still always left wanting for the Les Paul. If I didn't have any other Strats, I don't think I would be on the search for another one with this. It's not like it's you're left wanting. If I'm trying to make sense of how I feel about this guitar, the pickup sound superb. There's no need to wrench on this guitar at all, and it just does what it needs to do. And I think that's what's cool about it. I think the bridge was built really well, is machined really nice. The block is a great idea on how they did it, although I probably wouldn't have painted it, but that's my opinion. I just think it's cool. I mean, you just got to get over this. You got to get over the headstock. I like
that headstock.
I don't know. I mean, everybody wants the Fender headstock. It's hard to get around headstock sometimes. Look at the hate that the Tyler gets because of the headstock. They do good. Yeah. It's like you can guarantee if you do a video with a Tyler in it, that's the first comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if somebody said, I totally agree with this comment, like the answer to this question is that if somebody said to me, what is the best PRS guitar that's made? And I'm not talking about money or exotic woods or anything. I think this is it.
Yeah, exactly. If someone said to me, you got to go and buy a PRS guitar, you can choose anyone you want. I'll pick a Silver Sky.
Yeah, I like it so much. I wish I had a Rosewood version of it too.
Yeah.
The Rosewood you played at Toman.
God,
was
phenomenal. Guitar. I think mine had Rosewood. I had a gold. I can't remember the gold color that what they call the gold color. I had a gold one with Rosewood, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, I think if I had a Rosewood one and I didn't have any other Strat guitars, I didn't have my K line especially. I would buy a rosewood one and I would gut out the bridge pickup and I would put a single coil, either Seymour Duncan or DiMarzio or some type of single coil humbucker in the bridge and make like a quick super strat out of it, and then leave this one alone.
Well, you know, we talked about this the other day. We talked about, I think someone said about the pickups,
the shape of the pickup. Yeah.
So Ron Ellis pickups, absolutely. Well, one of the top end, high end pickup makers makes a set to go in the Silver Sky, and I can attest that they are some of the best pickups I've ever heard.
Is it a humbucker? One of them?
No. So no. So he does the 6, I think they're called the 65 set or the 62 set that go in there. Actually, I might speak to him, see if there's something that can be done about that, because I reckon loads of PRS owners would love a single coil size humbucker.
Yeah, instead of having to route out the inside of the guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, so I've played a couple of Silver Skies, Paul's one, and so that one we played at Toman, and
great guitar.
It's properly a good guitar, and for a PRS, I think you're right. I think it is the best PRS.
Yeah. And if I might say, I know this sounds weird because I know it's just wood like any other guitar, but for whatever reason, this guitar feels solid. It doesn't have this delicate feel in the neck joint. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's just the materials and everything, but it just feels really solid.
Yeah. Cool.
It's great guitars. Leon, hello mate. He said, "Evening fellas, the Helix thing looks very interesting. They did hint at their capture tech, more work for you to do, but was chuffed as to see one of my thumbnails on their live." Oh, nice one, mate. Congratulations. That's awesome. Hollywood, yes, capture, and they said intro price of the Stadium is $17.99, and the Stadium XL $21.99. That's steep.
That's pricey. Because you are more expensive than Quad Cortex at that territory. They're going smack bang between Quad Cortex and Axifex, aren't they?
Quite a lot in that.
You can buy that. I'll buy the Kemper too.
Yeah, okay. They will still support the current Helix range and have plans for them to talk about long-term support. Yeah, that's great, isn't it? That's really good. Hot 8, howdy. Or we're just finishing the Strat shootout. Nice.
We got there in the end.
Yeah.
How many hours, if you don't mind me asking, how many hours of editing did that take you? It must have took you a while.
No. Okay. So all of the guitar editing, you mean like switching between all the guitar parts? It's quite easy to do, actually. I did that the day before. So a few hours editing. But all you got to do is put a metronome on in the background and just play to the metronome, and then you're in time, and then you can just cut between the different takes.
It becomes a multicam edit rather than loads of different things you've got to try and match up together. And
right,
yeah, you have to think about things. You have to. Sometimes you can go, "Oh God, I made that mistake," and you have to start again and stuff. But yeah. Chris says, if you'd like to show it in the news, Line 6 updated their website with all the stuff. They call their capture tech Agora. Nice. I thought the Agora was, I didn't think that was the capture tech. That was the engine, the processor engine. Anyway, we'll look at that in a minute. Hollywood, well, PMT, no way. The co-founders got lucky. Always right time, right place. They sold their holdings after COVID. That was a good move.
So I worked with PMT. I never worked for PMT, but I worked with PMT when I was with Avid. That was when they were owned by Simon and Terry, the two guys who started PMT and grew it to the Leviathan that it became. There was then a management buyout and then another one, and they changed names about 3 times. It was always PMT, but it stood for something different every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm pretty sure the news will break with some official line fairly soon.
Yeah, it'll be tomorrow.
However,
Will, thank you, sir. He said, "Hey all, just a comment. I opened for beach weather last night in Oklahoma City. Went straight into a DSL 40 CR with a J Rocket Touch OD, nice, and Line 6 M9. Rode the volume all night and loved the simplicity. Nice one.
Nice.
Cheers, Will. Thank you very much. Yeah, congrats. Beach
Yeah.
Weather. I don't know. I don't know Beach Weather. Anyone know the band Beach Weather?
No.
And
Speaking of
he actually did open for Beach Weather.
Speaking of beaches, though, it was very sad.
Oh yeah, yes. Cheers, Dave. Yes. Rest in peace, Brian Wilson, the legendary frontman and co-founder of the Beach Boys, has died at the age of 82. Yeah, he's quite ill, I guess, wasn't he?
I think it's possibly the biggest understatement of the show thus far, just to call Brian Wilson the front man. I think Brian Wilson was the driving force and the genius of the Beach Boys. But yeah, very sad. You know, rest in peace, Brian.
Yeah, rest in peace. Hollywood. You have to remember PMT did buy up other stores and chains between the 2010s to 2020.
Yeah, it was.
I reckon they'll just become an online thing.
Yeah, who knows at this stage?
The average guitarist, he says, hello, are there any disadvantages to running your modular effects processor as your main audio interface over just running it through a separate interface such as a Focusrite? Well, only that you keep the... Okay, so when you play guitar, you plug in your guitar into that modeler. So you're going analog to digital. And then that modeler, if you go then digital to analog, to then go out to a separate interface if you're going analog out. If you use it as your all-in-one, so you use your modeler as your audio interface, you're going analog to digital, and then everything stays inside the computer. So all the processing and all the recording is done then. Whether you can hear the difference is another question, but yes, technically it's better.
There is the argument, though, that if you use an alternative interface, say you want to record your whole band at the same time. So if you've got a Focusrite with multiple microphone inputs, for example, that might be a bonus to doing it the other way.
All right.
But 9 times out of 10, if you're just recording guitar, if you're a singer, a songwriter, as I called them today, and your interface, something like a Quad Cortex or a Helix or a Head Rush, has got a microphone input, jobs are good.
Jobs are good. Mark, Helix Stadium looks great, but I'll be looking at a Helix Boozer. Hollywood, Paul.
Sorry, one mistake.
He said, Paul, they put loopers, flags, and MIDI, all sorts. You could run stadium show from it if needed. Nice. Would you want to run a stadium show from it? I wouldn't trust putting one thing, letting one thing like that
run the whole gig.
Everything. Yeah, Mike. Hey gents, love the show. Any experience using the Synergy system recording bass? If so, which modules? I haven't. That's a good question.
Bass? I haven't got any bass modules. Are there any bass modules?
I don't think there are.
There's a bassman.
Bassman style.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't. I mean, you know, guitar amp is not. I'm guessing most guitar amps don't filter off the bottom end.
No,
maybe some do. Maybe
no, because you still get 20 hertz out of you still get 60 hertz out of a guitar.
Yeah.
Just not as prominent as you would have a bass guitar.
Yeah. 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 No, sorry. Don't know about modules. I would probably stick to the cleaner ones, or ones you could drive lightly, like the Fender style ones.
Yeah.
Mike, happy evening, lads. Evening, Mike. Mark says local boozer should say yes.
Yes, local booze. That's it. I'd like. Can you imagine going into a music shop and going, "I'd like a line 6 local boozer, please."
Local boozer. Mark the bike. I recently bought a Les Paul CC Dutch Burst. Nice. I know you were talking about that, weren't you? I don't like the frets because they feel very low, and I cannot do vibrato as I want. Any advice on fretwire 6105? Okay, just be aware that you are definitely going to affect the value of that when you do it. I know it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, binding and everything.
I would reconsider the amount it's going to cost you to do that. I would reconsider, because I think you got it for a good price. I'd reconsider selling it and getting what you want.
I agree, and especially getting somebody to do it correctly without screwing it up.
Yeah, that's quite a task.
It is a task. Yeah, I would look. This is what happens, and this hasn't been confirmed by Gibson. Although I'd like them to give their opinion on it. Maybe we'll ask Chris James. But guitars that come out of the Gibson custom shop, I think, are plecked, and I don't know why they take the frets down really low. To me, normally when that happens, so when a guitar goes in a pleck machine and the frets are taken down low, it normally means inconsistencies in the neck. Both my 335 and my 59 Murphy Labs have got quite low frets.
Right.
So, that's not. I haven't had any proof from that, but that's what I would expect.
Yeah, that's the tradition. That's the. They can't break out of it. That's the way it is.
The first time
you think they just take it down because my Gold Top is a custom shop and that hasn't got low frets.
Yeah, the pleck machine does remove material, man, and then Gibsons are not known for having huge frets to begin with, so that's I agree with your assessment, Mike. I'm sure you don't want to hear this, but if you're not happy with it, don't have anybody wrench on it. Sell it, get your money back out of it, and find something you do like. But if you're asking fret wire and that's the way you want to go, 6105s are tall and thin. You go with 6150s, and if you want the biggest things you can get is 6100s. And those are the ones that come on like some of the Fender custom shops and the Melmstein Strats have them.
Bass wire, isn't it?
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, how big they're huge.
They're huge.
But they're wonderful.
It is funny because do you know what? It's the last thing I ever notice on a guitar.
Really?
I never ever notice it. It's like I notice the girth of the neck on that Strat, and I love it. Yeah. But I wouldn't. If you said to me, I was playing that guitar and I went, look at the size of the frets on that, I'd go, really?
I guess it has to do with your playing style. No, I don't mean that in a bad way or anything. I just think like you play a lot of rhythm parts and a lot of like chords and stuff, and I don't think you would notice it then. I think where you really notice it when you start soloing and bending in the upper register, you could feel that. How do you say that negative space underneath your fingers?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you, mate. I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think about every guitar I never go, oh my god, I can't play this. It's got cheese wire, or
Yeah. Well, sometimes a good setup will fix that too, though, Mike. Maybe the setup is not optimum because I have low frets on the Epiphone, and I think it plays great. It doesn't freak me out or anything. It's lower than everything else I have, but I think if they when they set those things up in the factory, they set them up to spec, and they'll be like 564s on the bass side, 464s on the treble side, and sometimes you could stick your phone underneath there, and they do that so there's no fret buzz and the customer doesn't get pissed off and want to send it back. But if you bring it down, it might change when that bridge. I hate doing this mirrored, but when you bring that bridge down, it changes how the string oscillates and it changes the whole dynamics of the guitar. Plus, the truss rod has got to be adjusted correctly. I think if you do that, I don't think you're going to you might not even want to change it, maybe.
Yeah. But if his heart is set on keeping the guitar, the thing is, like, he said it's a CC Dutch burst, so we know it's a limited edition. I think the Dutch burst is a limited edition. It's almost like, if he just said, I've got a Les Paul and I don't like it, I'd go, yeah, it's fine. Do whatever you want. But the fact he's got this limited edition, you are going to seriously affect the value of that guitar if you do mess around with it.
That's the same thing with the Fender custom shops. Same thing with Fender custom shops. I never wrench on them or change the pickups out. I've done it once and put it back because you're never going to get your money out of it. People want them all original.
But if he was going to change it, if his heart is set on keeping the guitar and changing the fret, I'd get as big as possible because I like massive frets. The 6100s, is that what they are, Vin?
6100s, and if you want them not as fat, but still tall, like the 6105s, go to the 6150s. Those are pretty nice.
Cool.
And go stainless steel while you're at it. This way you don't have to do it ever again. Just get it done.
That's true. That is true. Travis, last bit, also with the saw called Showcase, you can use it to trigger all your MIDI devices and sounds for parts of the songs. Say you need to transition from chorus to lead using Showcase. So you can okay, cool.
It's got
Nice.
basically it has a sequencer of sorts built into it by the sounds of it.
Excellent.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Cheers, Travis. Gary, on the subject of Soldano Astro, they changed the preamp valves, but it's gone pop again. And Anderton say that it could be an issue with the transformer. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it's, I'm not going to comment on this particular case, but if the transformer has a problem on it and it's not wound properly for the voltage correction, or the taps are in the wrong place, or whatever, yeah,
why would it blow the preamp valves? That wouldn't blow the preamp valves. That would blow the power amp valves.
Well, the different. Don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
preamp valves normally last for
ever.
Forever.
Don't know. So there's a problem. Didn't you have an Astro for a while? That little snakeskin one.
Ah, no, yeah. So that was called that was called something like that. Astro. No, it's a different thing. The Astro is their IR loading, does everything.
Ah, okay. Don't know. I love that little amp. You should never get rid of that.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool little amp, wasn't it? Travis, you could switch from chorus presets to lead that apply to all devices connected on the stage. You could also control the drum triggers, the keys, sounds, etc. Nice. Graham, I like the Silver Sky, but I wish they'd often at no birds and dark pick guard option. There's plenty of pick guards available, like off second. What do they call it? Off market.
Aftermarket.
Oh, thank you. That's the word. Thank you.
The only other thing I could suggest would be go with the DGT, even though it's got humbuckers, it's got that single coil thing, and they got dots. And I mean, if you really want a PRS, but yeah, I like the Blackbirds. I think they look cool on the Maple. I think that's why I got it.
I like the birds. Yeah,
I like the Blackbirds on the SAS.
Now, have you seen the birds that's on my Santana Retro? No. It's mother of pearl and abalone shell mixed together.
Oh my God,
that sounds expensive. I thought you were selling that to go and get a Tyler.
Yeah, I will. It's time to list it. Let me see if I can put this in front of the camera so you guys could see this.
Oh my God, yeah, that's busy.
Nice.
Wow. Ouch.
What's the condition of that like, Ben? Is it in perfect condition?
Oh, it's like a 9.9 out of 10.
Wow.
There might be like one little scuff in the clear coat, maybe in the back somewhere, but yeah, perfect.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever seen the back of this, but this is how the Santana comes.
Cool, yeah.
Pretty.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why it just doesn't come without the.
I think it's ease of covering the springs so they don't get jammed in your stomach or whatever. But I think the ease of getting the strings out so that you don't have to fiddle them through those holes on the plate.
Yeah, that's a great. I like that. I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, you see the Beato video where they compared 4 old Strats to an SE Silver Sky? I haven't seen that yet.
I did.
I haven't seen it yet, but
is it so? What was the conclusion, Vin?
He had a couple of 60s era Strats that he was able to compile from a few places, and they had one of the SE Silver Skies there, and there was one black Strat that he had that was made of all like 60s era parts that sounded absolutely phenomenal. But amazing. I'll tell you what, man, if you weren't watching the video, that SE guitar sounds awesome. It sounds absolutely stunning. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Hey,
Aaron. There we go. He goes line 6, freaking nailed it. There we go.
He had Tim Pierce playing them.
But
Tim Pierce could play a
Crash Can. Yeah,
I know. Amazing. Right, here we go. Boom.
Graham, I remember Simon and Terry's first small shop in London Road in Southend back in the early 90s.
I got thrown out of that shop by Simon.
Were you drunk?
No, basically, I'd gone in there to do some demo stuff for Avid.
Yeah.
And basically, the guy who was the sales manager for Avid had peed them off. And they threw me out of the shop and said, "You tell that little 4-letter word. If I catch him in here again, I'll." What was it? He said, I'll challenge him to a skip fight. Now,
Oh, you told me about this before.
I don't know what a skip fight is, but I said, just go back because I want to find out.
What is a skip fight? Oh, yeah. This sounds like some East End gangster stuff going on.
I thought you went in there to get the James discount and they got pissed off at you.
All right, so you can mock the James discount all you like. This is a slight aside, right? But my sister-in-law is moving house, and she wanted some advice on negotiation and like pricing strategy, how to get the money off the price. So I gave her some advice, and she got 10 grand off. So don't go there.
Damn. All right. Touche.
There we go. How do people cope prior to attenuators being the standard playing amps in their sweet spots?
They bought a Marshall power brake and blew a lot of valves.
And also, and the amp sounded terrible with it on. Yeah. I mean, it is the thing to do. If you've got an amp, get an attenuator. You'll never regret it.
No, it's a brave new world. The lovely thing today was we were able to drive, because I had it basically. I built Louis a rig, where we had his Princeton, my Chandler, the red plate, and the matchless all through the switcher, through the aux into a 4x12, so we could switch between having the amp on or just capturing it through the aux, and it was just brilliant because all the amps were at their sweet spot, and there was no, because the attenuator is doing what it does, there's no variation in volume. It's just genius.
It's good, isn't it? Good stuff. Hollywood. Vinny, what about the Fiore PRS as an HSS Silver Sky? I've never tried the Fiore.
I never tried the Fiore. I mean, I actually was going to buy that before I even decided to get a Silver Sky, but I kind of thought there was more options out there in that HSS 2-point tremolo kind of land, because it doesn't have the same tremolo as a Silver Sky. It's got a 2-point tremolo on it. I
don't like the look of the Fiore.
And there's something about the Fiore. You're right. There's some about the design. The body shape is a little bit not appealing to me.
And the colors, I think they've just messed up royally with that, especially the red.
Yeah, they missed the mark on that, I think, a little bit.
Oli. Evening, lads. Hope you're all good. I really love the tone from your black SSS Strat. I want a similar tone with my Strat. Fat 60s pickups, and I use an HX Stomp. The pickups in that are Ancho Poblano. They're like a limited edition Fender set that they only made like 300 sets of them, so they're quite hard to get. You can pick up an Ancho Poblano Strat when they come up secondhand. I think Toman have got one even new, but it's the best selling Strat I've ever heard.
And I will say that the Fat 60s custom shop pickups that you buy in the package are not the same as the hand wound Fat 60s that they put in the custom shop builds. They're not the same at all. I've bought the Fat 60s and the Fat 50s, put them in multiple guitars, and also had the custom shop on hand with the same pickups, and they sound completely different.
Interesting.
They always sound like, to me, the ones in the custom shop are a little bit darker tonality wise, and I don't know if they say hand wound. If you look at the build sheet, I don't know. It could be something to do with the pots that they're using in the custom shop, but I have never got them to sound the same. The ones for like, $199 that you put in from the package to the ones that come in loaded in the guitar.
I think and I'd love someone to copy those pickups. I think the Ancho Poblano pickups are just magic, and it's cool. It baffles me why Fender only did it as a limited edition.
So they can be desirable.
Maybe, but maybe. I don't know how much they sold them for, but they go for a lot of money. If occasionally, they'll come up secondhand and they'll go for a lot of money.
Cool.
NG Leon, have you guys tried the JHS Andy Timmons signature AT pedal? No,
I haven't.
Have you?
The regular Andy Timmons AT? Yeah, I have the new. I don't know. Is there another third one that came out? But I have one of them. this what he's talking about?
Oh, I used to have one of them. Yes, I
Yeah.
have tried one. Yes.
This is the Mark II version, I think, because the other one, I had the Mark I, I sold it, and then I got this guy.
Is that the AT or is that the Angry Charlie?
No, this is the AT.
That's the AT.
got
Ah,
the-
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
This one's got the, I can't remember now. I think the other one didn't have dual switches. I think it had one
mine didn't have dual
switch,
switches.
and it had like a boost switch somewhere, but this incorporates the boost in the other button or whatever. It's cool.
Nice.
This switch is really where the money's at. This mimics like a 25 watt, 50 watt, and 100 watt amplifier on how the controls work. So once you get this kind of decided on, then you can kind of move into your tone. It's cool.
It's a headroom switch. I take it.
And you can hear it. So like when it goes into the 100 watt, it gives you that more clear headroom. So you lose less, you get less compression and more clarity and less distortion.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a clean amp, like a Fender amp or something like that, and you wanted to put a little pedal board together, this is a pretty cool pedal. I also like the Sir Riot pedal. The Sir Riot pedal is awesome. That is a really cool. If you had to pick a drive pedal to put on something, just a clean amp, that's killer. It's like a crazed out JCM 800. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but it was a cool pedal.
Nice. By Sachatrucci says, greetings, Paul, James, and Vinnie. Hope you're doing well. And you, mate. They said, I can confirm audio over USB on the Quad Cortex using it as an interface is definitely not as good as recording XLR out into an Apollo Twin. For what it's worth. Interesting.
Nice.
There we go. Interesting.
Because we have done recording using a Quad Cortex. If you remember, a couple of years ago in Bournemouth, we did it because we just had to get that guitar track recorded, and we used the Quad
over USB. What's it?
Yeah, and it sounded. I thought it sounded great.
Yeah,
but we weren't able to compare because we didn't have anything else with us. So
yeah. Elise says, done that. Travis, sorry, I've been so hyped about the Helix because I'm an HX Stomp user. Back to guitars. A PRS McCarthy 594 is worth it over custom shop Les Pauls.
No,
you won't get your money back.
I agree with Vinnie on that. I think if you're buying new, you won't get your money back. The 594's got better, has got more switching, so you can bring in sort of single coils. I mean, I feel really bad. We're always,
I've owned a McCarty 594, and I've owned Gibson Custom Shop Murphy Lab stuff. And I will, other than the lacquer cracking issue that I had at one of the first batches, so we'll just put that aside. Those Murphy Lab guitars were the bee's knees. They really sounded killer, and I never got that feeling from the PRS.
The only thing is, and not everybody is the Del boy of guitar trading like Paul is. But there is something to be said for.
I actually understand that. I get that reference.
Good. That at some point you have to think about resale value, and if it's got an F or a G on the headstock and it's a custom shop or a Murphy Lab or whatever, it's going to be worth the same, if not more, than you paid for it. There are very few other brands that have that,
Yeah, you're right. I think PRS does have it more than a lot of other brands. But it's a funny thing about PRS is like sometimes, I mean, especially this in the economic climate that we're going through at the moment, certain guitar brands are really cheap, like the cheapest that I've ever seen.
Like for instance, my Santana, that's a almost $6,000 guitar. It's $5,800 and change, or $5,900, maybe even more than that because of the gold top. And if you were to sell it used, I would probably get anywhere between, if I was lucky, $4,000 to $4,500 max. The Gibson Custom Shop, I've sold them for more money than I paid for them.
Should we park it there? And because it's kind of relevant what we're going on to. I was with Paul yesterday watching the first day of the latest round of Gardner Hallgate auctions. If you are not aware, which rock have you been hiding under? We found these guys probably 4 years ago now.
What are we talking about? With Garden Hallgate.
Garden Hallgate. Yeah, we found this auction site, and they do guitar, amp, instrument auctions every quarter, and there's some amazing stuff. Now, I think it's fair to say the last couple there haven't been any real quote unquote bargains, but we were watching yesterday the guitar auctions, going, "What is that all?" And I think I picked up a bargain. You want to see, Vinny?
I do. Is it going to give Paul a heart attack, though?
No.
Oh.
That is a 1977.
That's a refin.
It's a refin.
Yeah. I bet you it sounds killer.
But that, do you know why I went for that one particularly?
It was the color.
It's a birth year guitar.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Can you zoom in on that? Can you zoom in on the bridge?
That does look tasty, I have to say.
Oh, it's the original bridge. It is. It's the original bridge.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I'm well
nice
pleased
dark,
with that.
dark rosewood board on that.
Yeah, I'm well pleased with that.
It looks clean.
That's
well, let's look at it this way. Whoever went through the trouble to refinish that obviously wanted it to be on point. You know,
they did a good job on it. Yeah.
And also, if it needed refinishing, I would say it's probably going to be a good guitar because it's been played.
Yeah, totally. I know you're not a fan of the 70s headstock. I love the big chunky Fender 70s headstock.
I'll tell you,
like Go on, Ben.
This is where they screwed up. If I was doing that guitar and I was sold on white, I would have went with a vintage white color, so it at least looked its age.
Yeah, like a Olympic white rather than, was it pearlescent white, that one?
That looks like just like a straight up white to me, but I can't really tell. But I would have put a little yellow in it just to kind of make it look, because that even if
Olympic, sort of dirty aged white.
Yeah, because even if that guitar came out that color in that year, it would be yellow by now.
Yeah,
you want it that color.
There you go. Well, yeah, maybe not as intense, but yeah, I think it would be cool. But either way, it looks great though. I'm
really happy with that.
It's definitely got a Jakey Lee vibe to it.
Yeah, it has got a Jakey Lee vibe, hasn't it? Yes, I agree. I wonder if that's why they did it as well.
Could be.
That
probably
was the other
with the black pickguard. I would say in the black pickups, probably because that's not a normal Fender classic thing, right? So
yeah, I agree.
Picked up one of them. Well pleased with that. And most importantly, for the project that is. Now, I've done some digging about Reinhard.
Yeah.
Reinhard. And the website still exists. They don't take orders. But I'm like, that looks like a really cool thing. I'm looking forward to giving that some serious means.
Yeah, nice. Interesting to see what's going on.
It's a 2x12, so it's not as big as you think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a 4x12. It's a 2x12 with so what they call a lunchbox, slightly bigger than lunchbox head.
That's quite a bit bigger than lunchbox head. That's going to be a lunchbox head's like that. That's going to be like that. That's quite a bit.
I'm trying to gauge the handles on the side of the.
Yeah. They look like the Marshall 4x12 handles, don't they?
It's probably like the size of like a Marshall Origin, just a little bit taller.
Yeah,
right?
But everyone, I've heard loads of examples and videos online going, oh, that sounds great. So looking forward to trying that.
Awesome.
I like the Tolex. I liked how they designed that. It looks cool.
It does look cool, doesn't it?
If it's a good noise, that's a keeper just for the look and the matching cab. I think that's cool.
You put that in the front living room.
I think that's called the studio, mate. But yeah, that was so 3 purchases from the auction this time for me.
Very nice. Very nice.
Those. Got the news?
Before you do that, we're at the halfway mark. If you guys would hit the thumbs up button, it does help these guys out a lot.
Thanks, Vinny. Thanks, mate. We always forget. Give us a like, because you will not believe how much it helps, especially because we don't monetize this show. We just do it as a bit of fun on a Wednesday.
It's
just
fun. Yeah.
I'm here as the quality control organizer.
Absolutely.
Where?
And also go and check out Vinny's channel, Vinny the Axe, as well on YouTube.
Appreciate it.
And Phil's, Phil 40 Watt podcast.
Yeah.
He obviously can't be bothered to come on.
He's clearly busy with a day job or some kind of normal person stuff.
Doing something important, right? Yeah. So yes, as we said earlier, Brian Wilson has passed away.
Arguably, one of the most influential people in
of course, yeah,
popular music today. You would not have half the bands that you have now without the Beach Boys.
No, absolutely. Did
you ever see that video where the guy set up the studio and he says they use this on Pet Sounds? Do you remember that one?
No.
Google it.
I don't even know why I included this. Strandberg, Bowden, Prog. Lee would love this because it says Prog.
I think I love the color. I love the color.
I like the color. I just can't imagine. Do you know what? I know this sounds really bad, but if I saw a band and it's
a turn off.
Yeah, I was just like, do you know what? Oh God, I know what this is going to be.
You know what I don't like about them is stringing them. If you guys ever own one?
No. Yes. Well, no. I reviewed the Telecaster one.
So to get the string through the saddle to come out over on top of the saddle, you actually have to take the string, the end of the string, and kind of bend it and put an arc in it, like to fish it through. I don't know if they've changed design since I've owned several of them, but it just used to drive me nuts. I hated that.
The thing is, and I think I've probably said this before, when people buy guitars, and PRS and all those kind of like Patrick or whatever, they design guitars to basically be something else. You either buy a guitar to sound like a Les Paul or a Strat, or to be the best bits of both, or a Telly or whatever. What's that guitar supposed to sound like?
I can't get. I wouldn't get excited about it.
They are very resonant. They are very resonant. They are very, very light. And if you're the person who plays guitar with your thumb behind the neck all the time, even when you solo, that's the guitar for you, because of that indoor neck landing that's twisted in the back. It's like a flat landing for your thumb the whole way down. But most people that I know and even watch, their thumb always comes over the board when they do bending or blues bending and all that stuff. But if you play with this in that, what do you say, traditional position all the time?
If you're Alan Holdsworth,
yes, and you're not bending, that's the guitar.
But don't you think that whole endure neck is basically a problem that was never there? They come up with a solution for a problem that was never really a problem.
Yeah, possibly. They say a lot of people have, like, with their hands and their wrists. I don't really get any problems with my wrist when I play.
But also the problem is to do the proper classical positioning where you have your thumb down the middle of the neck. It's up here. You look like Mark King.
Yeah, that's very true.
But you know what? John Petrucci made that cool. John Petrucci made it cool to have your guitar up real high. He was the guy that came out in the 90s that played extraordinarily high than most people because of all the notes he was playing.
If you can play like John Petrucci, you could wear it as a bow tie and no one would care.
Yeah, true. I'm just saying that whole high guitar thing, from what I could recall, is he was the guy that really kind of was like in the beginning of all that. Even so much so when he plays those complicated parts, he's got those dummy boxes that he puts his feet up on.
Yeah.
So he can kind of pull that stuff off. I mean, the guy's insane.
But that's how he gets into proper classical technique, isn't it? He gets into proper classical positioning, so his fingers do the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we stop the prog talk?
You started it.
I know. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's.
How much are they?
They're expensive for where they come from.
What's that, mate?
They're expensive from where they're coming out of.
Yeah, they're 2.7. I'm guessing these are the ones that are still made out of. Where are they made? Are they made?
They keep changing it up. I think they're China or Indonesia.
Right.
Now.
Indonesia. Yeah.
So
now, if you want the Japanese build one, the Japanese build ones are going for like $8,000.
What? Oh man, that's crazy. That makes
sense. They have a J designation.
That's a lot of money.
That makes no sense to me. Makes no sense. Anyway, so there's that. This is interesting. Do you know the band Krungbin? Krungbin?
No.
They're like the music. They're like an instrumental 3-piece that do this. I think the original the music originates in Thailand. So it's like this particular style of instrumental music that, I mean, it's quite sort of therapeutic to listen to. It can get incredibly boring after a while. Anyway, so they've come up with a signature model for those two. So Mark Spear and Laura Lee. Laura Lee's the bass player, and Mexican built 70s style. So you'd like it, James? It looks like your guitar. Yeah. Anyway,
How much?
How much? Price wise, about €1,600 each.
Still a lot of money for a.
Well, they've got to earn their money. You know, they've got to pay their artist fees, haven't they?
Let's say it had a 7 1/4 radius.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't surprise me at all.
Go down a little bit more, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it is 7 1/4. Yeah, but so is the Silver Sky.
Yeah.
That means it's quite round, doesn't it? Yeah, it's quite archy. Yeah.
I thought these were interesting. So, Orangewood. These they've come out with this baritone.
Oh, yeah.
I think it looks quite cool. You know, if you're into, that looks like a fairly cool looking baritone. And price wise, I'd have thought, how much is that? That's going to be expensive. They are.
Did I see it says 695? Or am I looking at
it was like 700. Yes. Where am I going?
Go up a little bit more. Right there somewhere. There it is. I'm pointing like you can see what I'm pointing at. Jesus. Yeah, there you go.
$695, and I like if I can find the neck joint. That's quite cool.
Look, that's cool.
When they kind of like started, a buddy of mine bought one of their acoustics.
Yeah,
and it very inexpensive, but he bought one of the mid-tier ones, and man, did it sound fantastic.
Really?
Absolutely sounded fantastic. Yeah, I was really impressed with it.
Oh, amazing.
Nice.
That is me done.
Are we allowed to talk about TC Electronics on here?
Yeah.
Remember when we talked about the plethora going up in price and skyrocketing? Well, now it has dropped back down to like clearance pricing. Like the plethora 5 I saw for like $500 or something, or $495 clearanced out somewhere. And then Henning was talking about it on his little unicycle trip the other day.
His rantcast.
Yeah, and he was talking about how they shut down the TC's factory or whatever when they got bought out or whatever. And so I was wondering, how long lived is that whole TC tone print pedals and all that stuff? Because I like that little plethora thing. I was thinking about buying it for my desktop rig for the effect.
It's good.
But
it's a really good little unit. That
I just worry if they stop support on it, and then it needs a firmware update or something, and then they're gone. It's gone.
So I watched Henning's video. I didn't watch it all because I had to go and do something.
Well, you're on the trip with him in real time, so if you don't have like an hour to ride around with the guy, you can't watch the whole thing.
Yeah. The thing with TC is, I mean, that TC. First of all, I think he's wrong about one thing. He said that Behringer Music Tribe have bought a load of companies like Lab Group and Tannoy, yada yada. That's not strictly true. That happened because TC Group owned all those companies. So when they bought TC Group, they got all those companies in the same go.
Went with them, right?
Now TC Helicon, TC Electronic, and the other brands that went with it were very successful, very cash rich ends of the the guitar industry business. But, and I'm being careful here to make sure we don't get in trouble, when different divisions were closed by Behringer, or were discontinued, were shut down, whatever. Tannoy were just closed, period. You know, that was like the end of speaker building in Scotland, gone. We all thought, okay, you know, this could be good because people will move on to other things, and various people from that we know that were the pedal division, if you like, of TC Electronic Tour went to work with UA. Now, but that was a long time ago. That's not recent history. That's old news. You know, TC Group being bought by Behringer was 6-7 years ago, if not more than that. So I didn't really understand Henning's video because it was like, this is old news, Henning.
I figured you would be in the know. That's why I was asking.
But
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I don't know much about what's going on with that.
I mean, it's rubbish. What it's really bad what some companies do to other successful companies. That's all we can probably officially say.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Here we go. Boom.
Chris, anyone try Mac OS 26 Tahoe? It broke the USB audio interface bit on my Helix. I put in a ticket with line 6 and they confirmed it's a thing. No, I never upgrade.
I upgrade at least one Mac OS behind.
Yeah.
Because that way it's I am not employed by Apple to be their beta tester.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just upgraded my Mac and my Focusrite is shutting off once in a while. I got to reboot it.
Travis, I'm currently in a place where I want to step into the next level of craftsmanship for guitars. Nice. Currently looking at a Nash T52, Fender Custom Shop Telly, 52 or 55, McCarthy 594 or Custom Shop Les Paul.
Custom Shop Les Paul.
Telly.
Sorry.
I'd go for a Nash Telly or a Custom Shop Telly. If you want to hold your money, Custom Shop Telly.
Correct. If you want to play the hell out of it, Nash. And I've owned many of both.
Mendel says, congrats, James, on the new Strat.
Looking forward to that.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I was trying to think then, yes.
New Strat, what?
Yeah. Line 6 with the news, says Nick Trillios. What a stack.
That's going to be great.
Nice. Hey up, chaps. What have I missed?
Everything out. You said you weren't coming on tonight, so.
Ali says, I'm new to guitars, but bought a Fender Anderson 60th anniversary Strat. I paid 1,500 quid for it. I'm wondering if I made a bad decision or if I just need more time to find my sound. Please advise, thanks. What's the 60th anniversary Anderson Strat?
I don't know. Was it an Anderton's like 60th anniversary special?
Was there a custom model that they did?
And Anderson, Fender Anderson.
But Anderton could be a typo.
I'll have a quick look. Let me have a quick look.
I've not heard of that.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's an American,
is it 60th anniversary?
60th,
yeah. Anderton's certainly been around that long.
I can show it on the. I can show it on the thing if you want.
Please do.
Share screen. Try screen that one there. Yeah. Oh, it's cool.
Is it an Anderton's or Anderson's?
It's an Anderton's.
Anderton's, yeah. So it was a special spec'd out model for them.
Yeah, I think they look at that.
That's great.
That red looks good. That's a good color red, actually.
That is a really good color red.
No, I think you did all right, man. I don't know about the plate.
Oh my god, it's made in Mexico for 1,500 quid.
Wow. Oh, I thought that was an American build.
I mean, have you made a mistake?
That's custom.
Well, it's a limited edition FSR, limited to 100 pieces. I don't think you made a mistake.
Definitely not. That's not a bad choice. It's a great choice.
The only thing I would say is that it looks very vintage spec. So it's got the gloss neck.
He wanted to give it some more time. What don't you like about it? Like,
yeah, I think that's a good
Mm.
shout.
Does it show what the spec of the pickups are? I don't know. So if you're not happy with how it's sounding, a pickup upgrade would be great. If I had that guitar, I'm just telling you what Vin would do. I'd buy a Fender neck plate, get rid of the Attenuators one, throw it in the case in case you resell it, put a regular neck plate on it to get that off there. And I would go buy myself a set of like the Ron Ellis. So if you don't want to sink that much money in that guitar, Lawlers. I go buy a set of Lawlers single coils, throw it, slap it in that thing, and you will be totally pleased with it.
Great shout.
By Satsuchi, I had the Strandberg Prog 6, and it plays great and sounds great, but it wasn't very slimming lol. So I sold it. Jeff, hello mate. He says, just joined at 6:05 a.m. on Thursday. 9:05 your time. Was awake in time to join at the start, but it's 6 degrees here in Brisbane, so I stayed in bed. Better late than never, I suppose. Well done, mate.
6 degrees. I'd stay in
Well,
bed too.
Steve. I like many guitar players. I, like many guitar players, buy with my eyes as well as feel and sound. This blue thing isn't going to catch my eye on the shop floor. They were talking about the Bowden, I think, the Strandberg.
Well, they keep coming out with new models, but they all look the same. There's nothing like.
I don't get it.
I
I just
know.
don't. A guitar that's that light as well has got no. I don't. It's too light.
If you do a lot of recording at the desk, it is cool though. I have to say, because you're not banging into anything. You know, that's the cool part about it. If you're a guy that does you're very talented and you do a lot of recording, and you're sitting at the desk all the time. I think that's what it's cool for.
Yeah. There was a couple of guitars in the auction let's say yesterday. There was one of those Yamaha SGs, you know, the ones that Paul Stacey bangs on about a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, but then I thought, no, because I like my shoulders unbruised.
I don't like those guitars. I don't like
But
them.
who's the guy who plays with his fingertips? The amazing young guy.
Mancuso.
Mancuso?
Yeah. I'm sure he's playing.
That's not an SG. That's not an
Is it
SG.
not? What's that? Then?
No, that's the Yamaha. What's the
Revstar?
Yamaha?
Revstar?
Revstar. It's the same as Chris Buck. It's Revstar.
Right. Okay.
It's different shape.
They all look the same.
Miguel, Fab Overdrive for Smooth Blues, Zen Drive type. Cheers.
Blues Driver. So Blues Breaker, the Marshall Blues Breaker.
Zen Drive is your Dumble style drive.
All right.
Have a look at the Vertex Effects. Can't remember what it's called now. I'm trying to picture it in my mind.
Steel String Singer.
No, the other one, the black one.
The one that's not the Steel String Singer.
Yeah, it's a black overdrive that does that Dumble thing. I think it does a really good job.
Or the one is that out yet?
Yes, that's out. Or the Amplified Nation Bigger Bloom.
I enjoyed that because it does that Eric Johnson. When you crank it up, it does the Eric Johnson fuzz violin tone thing really nicely.
Yeah, it does do it very, very well. Yeah, but it's not smooth blues.
No, true.
Hey, dude. Hello, mate. Hey, how you doing, Shahar? Yes, I'm going to say it again because I keep forgetting, and Vinnie just reminded us. Can you know if you're enjoying it, give us a like and a thumbs up, whatever it is, because it does make a massive difference.
And I'm going to put a request in.
Cool.
So I'm going to put a request in as well. I am 49 away from 2,000 on the other channel.
Oh, nice, mate.
So if anybody fancies a little bit more tech and stuff like that, go over to TSR Jivey Talks Tech on YouTube and please like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that normal stuff, because I'm 48 people away from 2,000.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, well done, mate. Good work.
I got like 3 people and some pocket lint. I got.
Mate, you're doing great. Doing great.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, Vinny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Shahar says, Paul, since you're back in Fractal land, which are some of the amp models you like to muck around with? Do you know what, Vinny? I only use
Shahar.
Sorry, Shahar. Sorry, mate.
I would like to know what you use too. Go ahead, Paul.
You'd like to... Cheers, Vin. I tell you what, I can load up my Fractal, and you guys can see it if you want. So let me go into Fractal Edit and
boom.
Let me share my screen. Hold on. Can you see?
We
Can
can.
you say? You
Yeah.
can see, right. I go to the preset that I always use, which is that one. So I use this is the only patch that I use. So the amp is the FAS Rhythm. That gets switched when I switch over to my lead sound. It goes over to a plexi, and I've got an AC30 on the other amp, which is running in parallel, and a JTM 45 when it's clean. So I only use those 4 amps. I don't bother because I can literally just get lost in the weeds and just end up trying all the amps and then thinking that one's not as good as the other one, and then I'd never get any playing done.
That doesn't look that scary, actually.
It's not, mate. It's so easy. It's literally, you can switch stuff on and off with a space bar. You can choose a different effect here. So if I want to bring in something else, like I don't know, a drive here, I can stick another drive in.
The only
It's
problem
really
is that when you is in the full version, when you start looking through there, and you've got like 1,800 different 4x12s to wade your way through.
God.
Well, look,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, so here's what I use on the cabs. So there are four different cabs that I use. So the 4x12 pre-roller, because literally you can go in here. If I go in here and then choose cabs, like literally I can keep going. I can,
God.
there's just that. Actually, all these are empty for some reason. Why are they empty? Here we go. That thousands of cabs. I'm just like, I'm not interested. And the best overdrive cab that I found is the 4x12 Fractal GBM60. And why am I using 2 of the same? That's weird.
Because you really like it.
Yeah, but I'm using one. I don't know what I'm doing there. Oh, the pan left and right. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where am I? Let me come back to you. I can't get out of this now. Ah! No, I'm done.
Should I kick you out?
Yeah, stop sharing. Here we go.
There you go.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm back. I was back.
Hang on. So I've lost it again. Hang on. Right, there we go. Boom.
Miguel, Ultraphonics. Thanks, mate. That's the one. So that's the Vertex Effects Ultraphonics. Thank you, Miguel. Well done. Unobtainium is amazing. Yes, the Unobtainium that's a really good shout. Well done, mate. Good shout. Again, that's another Dumbley inspired overdrive, especially when stacked. Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Willie. Well done, Willie.
Hiya.
Vice Trucci, he's having a laugh.
He's going to laugh.
Oh, Fast, nice. Oh, Fast. Shahar says 30-watt TB Plexi 50, you're a classic kind of guy. Yeah. But the thing is, like, I've got that sound, and it took me ages to find that setting, and I literally I'm not interested in just going in, going through different amps and stuff. It's just
boring. It takes too long. Boring.
That's boring as hell, isn't it? Miguel, any thoughts on the Catalyst 60 for small rigs? I've never even tried one.
No, they won't send us one. They don't like us.
Line 6 don't like us. I don't know why. What did we say something once?
I probably did.
You probably did. You normally do.
Hang on, no. Line 6. We spent a lot of time with Yamaha, and the dude, the guy who lives in Hawaii, who's actually from
Robbie. Yeah,
a long time with those guys, and they snubbed us. So actually, it's their fault. So there.
Yeah, line 6. Mike the Bike. Thanks for your advice. I'm afraid, as you said, that it will lose my value. My tech, which is very good, told me that we can change them with the same size without removing the nibs, so it won't affect the dodge. Well, it will, because it's changing the frets. It doesn't matter if you're keeping the nibs or not. If you're changing the specs, because people are buying that for that spec. It's different if it's like a Les, like a Les Paul standard. But if you change anything on those guitars, it affects the value. It's crap, and it shouldn't, and it wouldn't stop me from buying one. But I would buy one with the thought, I need to get this cheaper, because if I need to sell it on, I'm not going to be able to sell it for the price that I bought it for.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I agree.
You look like you're
And the other thing is, I always like, I'm the glass is half empty with a crack at the bottom leaking kind of guy. So I always worry about something happening during the process, even if he's very good. What if the neck breaks or the headstock snaps or something happens, and it's just a headache, I think, to deal with.
Whereas on the not even the other side of the coin, on the opposite side of the wallet, I am the glass half full, captain optimist. It'll be fine kind of guy. If you don't want to sell it, do it.
I don't think. Yeah. I think if you're going to keep it, if that's a guitar for life, fantastic.
Oh yeah,
keep
then
it. And
there's
it
no
shouldn't
problem.
make it.
Do whatever you want.
It shouldn't make it. It shouldn't make a difference, but it does make a difference to the retail value. It's like buying a PRS with a bang in it. You know, if you buy a PRS custom 24 and it's got like a dent in it because
because someone played it.
It affects the value massively. It shouldn't, but it does.
Here's the other. I'm going to put a positive spin on it. If you do go through with it, Mike, and you put some fat frets on that thing, it'll probably be the most badass Les Paul in probably like 1,000-mile radius of wherever you live, because I can guarantee you nobody else there's not many of them floating around with those types of frets on there. So it could be awesome.
If you're going to keep it, you're going to keep it, definitely do it. Definitely do it. If you're not happy with it and you definitely love that guitar, do it. Do it. Tony said the Dirty Shirleys are amazing in the Fractals. Love them. Cheers for the. I will check it out, and then I'm going to get into the weeds. Hey, can I just before I answer another question? Can I just say something? So I just want to shout out a company like so. I had this delivered. I showed this last week. This is the Shabbat that I had delivered. That was that is absolutely brilliant, and it's my favorite out of all the Super Strats. And when it arrived, I could not get it to stay in tune. It would not stay in tune. And I was pulling the strings, trying to get all the, just think, oh, well, maybe they're, the strings haven't just bedded in yet or anything. Yeah. Pulling all the strings, couldn't get it. A day passed, it still wasn't doing it. So I was like, what is going on? Changed over to String Joy. Changed the strings. It had the Darios in it. Changed over to String Joys. Absolutely perfect.
I know why.
Dive on it. What's that, mate?
I said I know why.
Why is that?
Because the windings on the ball end are thicker, and when you put certain strings in and the windings are not thick, thick around the ball, what happens is when you use the tremolo, the ball shifts inside the tremolo block, and it won't stay in tune. That's why Fender came out with that bullet end.
Mm-hmm.
Those bullet ends are made precisely to they actually jam themselves in the channels of the block, and they're a bitch to get out.
Pain to get out. Yeah.
Usually have to get like a toothpick or a rod or another thicker string and punch them out from the other side. But that stops. It almost acts like a double locking. It's not a double locking tremolo, so nobody freak out. But it will lock the string in place, so there's no shifting. I noticed on Diodarios and other strings that the ball, when the tension comes off, the ball will turn inside that channel, and it will just a hair and will knock it out at like a cent or so. If that's what you were experiencing, that will happen.
Yeah, it was like a couple of cents. Yeah, that's what it was. But but I've used Darios before, and I had Darios on my. I never break strings. Never break strings. I had Darios when I had the body changed over on my Tyler. I had Darios on that because they didn't do String Joy at Guitar, and they did all the changeover. And got it home, played it for a bit. Strings are breaking. So what is going on with the Dario at the moment?
I don't know.
Don't know.
But anyway, yeah, highly recommended String Joy strings.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Vinnie used them as well.
Mine are over there.
That's the crazy gauge I just tried.
Oh, is it?
In that video.
Wow.
But honestly, I think String Joy are the company that people should be using. Jeff, do you think an Explorer is only do you think an Explorer is only really good for high gain stuff? I nearly bought a new 70s one with antique finish, but bad at because it probably wouldn't fit into my milder blues. I mean, I think an Explorer is good for high gain stuff and bonfires. So
I was about to send emergency services to your house when that question came up. I'm like Didn't Gary Moore play an
how you
Explorer?
kicked me out?
Gary Moore played an Explorer, didn't he?
Gary Moore played an Explorer on the Scars tour, and it was awesome.
Very
The
good.
whole reason I've got an Explorer is because of Gary Moore playing.
Yeah, I wouldn't sweat it, man. Just rock it if you want to.
Yeah, no, actually, no, I'm only messing around. I'm only messing around as long as it hasn't got those awful Gibson 490 pickups in them, whatever they are.
Yeah,
I've got an alternative set of pickups that I want to put in, but the problem is the pickups that I've got come with a 4-pot harness, and obviously an Explorer is only 3 pots.
Oh, that's all right. That's just wiring.
Yeah, just
When you say 4-pot harness, you mean it's got 4 wires?
It's got 2 volumes and 2 tones,
like a Les Paul style, two volumes, 2 tones. Whereas a Explorer's only got 3 pots.
I would wire all new fresh stuff in it, just from the ground up. 1 tone, 2 volumes.
I'm confused. Yeah, you just don't use one of the wires, James.
Or 1 master volume and 2 tones.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. I'll have to ask. I have to seek advice on that because it's complicated. Because
if I live by you, I could do it for you, but unfortunately,
I'll pop over.
Come on, it's hot. You'll love it.
Hey, Vin, make sure he doesn't bring that guitar back with him.
Paul, what Paul's not telling everybody is you're going to do that special episode on the Beastie Rich Warlock because that's going to be your new guitar, right?
I know. I'm really bad. I'm really bad because, like, I'm, and I think that my opinion is the right opinion. But you like Flying V's and James likes Explorers, so I'm only messing around.
I'm very.
We ignore you most of the time.
I remember being at NAMM with you guys, and when we went to that one booth, I won't bring up the name, but it had those guitars that were all like crazy things glued on the front and everything else. That had your face was priceless.
Yeah,
and let's face it, if it's got burl or coffee table-esque finishes in the custom builder section, he just goes. It's like he comes out in hives.
Yeah, well, you know what? Here's the thing, though. I interchannel my James or my Paul. I'm kind of like in between you guys, really, because I had a Ernie Ball Axis hardtail, which I really liked, but it was the Rosewood edition with the rosewood top, and it looked like freaking paneling, wood paneling from a room in the 70s, and I sold it because I could not stand the look of it.
Yeah, I've seen those as well. There's one actually. I think Screaming Pig had one of those, or had one for sale.
It was a good guitar. It was great.
Yeah.
The guitar itch I now have to scratch is a Luke.
Yeah.
That's a guitar I need to have in my life.
Yeah, Luke's. Yeah.
Although you are getting spoiled playing all those guitars with a lot of resonance, and sometimes those Lukes with that heavy poly finish just don't have it. Just saying.
Interesting.
You might be spoiled. I'm just saying.
Interesting. Shahar says, it looks like you're not using Dyna cabs. You may like them. Again, I don't want to get into any of that going through finding cabs that, having to hunt through a million different Fractal cabs trying to find the right one. I was just like,
this is the reason why I don't have one of those things. That's why I'm scared of it. It's just too much stuff.
Deja. Wow. What we're talking about?
Don't know.
Ali, thanks for the recom. It has CS Fat 60s in it. Custom shop Fat 60s. Oh, okay. But what's IDK mean? I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if I need more than an HX Stomp or if I need to spend more time finding what I like your black Strat, clear and clean with headroom. Oh, no. See, those Ancho Pablanos are high output pickups. They're really glassy. I don't know. I'd have to compare it against the Fat 60s.
There are. I mean, there's 2 schools of thought, isn't there? There's the player that goes guitar, cable, amp, and makes Princeton, a Marshall, or whatever sound amazing. And there's also the argument to the guitar modeler, stroke, capture device, whatever. Into PA and makes it sound amazing as well. I think it is just a case of if you're searching for your sound, it's not a quick process. You need to work out what works for you. You might be the guy who needs a Boss pedal board. By that I mean individual pedals, not some kind of floor modeler, floor processing thing. You might just plug straight into the amp and make the right noise. And only time and experimentation is going to find that, and that does take time. It just does.
Yeah.
And also, and
I've never been happy with them Fat 60s pickups, man. Every time I put them in something, I wind up pulling them out. I just don't like them. Something about them I just don't like. Now, the pickups you have in yours sound completely different. I played a custom shop with those Pablo ones in there, and they were really good. So maybe the pickups is where you're having the hang up in. I know that the bridge pickup in the Fat 60s isn't all that in a bag of chips. And not that I want to do a shameless plug, but I just did a video on my Nash with the Lawlers. Go listen to those and see if that's something you like, because I'm not doing a lot of processing anything. I think I mic'd Delaney when I did it, and that was it straight in. And you might tonally you might like it. Everybody's in a different camp with their ears. Some people hate high-end tones, some people don't, and you might be one of those people like me that just are not jiving with that set.
Yeah, a good phrase that I tend to use quite a lot is one person's bright is another person's harsh. One person's fat is another person's muddy.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And also, has it got modern wiring? If it's a Strat without modern wiring, and the bridge pickup is fully open, I rarely have a Strat on the bridge pickup that isn't dialed back to at least sort of 7.
And I know I sound like a fanboy with the Lawlers, but I will tell you that the Lawler sets, the bridge, I always hated the bridge single coil until I bought a Nash with Lawlers in it. And then I am sold on their bridge pickup. I think that super that's in there sounds awesome, and it's totally not brittle and bright and nasty. And ever since then, I kind of like, they're really damn good, I have to say. And same thing with the Paul Reed Smith ones, the ones in the Silver Sky. The bridge pickup is so usable.
Yeah. It's
Um,
got a
yes,
really nice kind of. Sorry.
They put Lawlers in Shabat's, and I think they're the only pickups that Shabat puts in his guitar.
How do you like? Good.
Oh, great, fantastic! Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah. How much is an Active X3? You'd have to have a look on G66. I don't know how much they are.
But Shahar says
about 2K. Are they? I thought they're more than that.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they might be in the States. But there's a whole lot of cabs in. Yeah, mate, it's ridiculous. Cheers. Says Willie.
Right, now we're going to get on to the important questions now.
Oh, coffee. Michael says coffee or tea, beer or whiskey?
Coffee, whiskey.
Tea and beer.
Oh, coffee, beer. Coffee, beer. Yeah.
So we've all sat on the fence well and truly there then.
James says the catalyst is good enough for Jehovah. Catalyst good enough for Jehovah. I don't know. What did you say?
That piece of halibut was good enough for Jehovah. Jehovah. It's Run the Life of Brian.
Okay. Yeah. Paul, did you end up buying that back, or did you return it and cry? No, I bought it. I bought this. I ordered it because I saw this. Avi had one of these at NAMM, exactly this spec, and I saw this at NAMM, but it was already sold. So I got Abby to. I ordered this, and
I love the paint.
That is
great.
That is an awesome guitar. What was really interesting in the final of the Super Strat debate was that nobody liked that guitar. Everyone went for the either the Sir or the
Tom Anderson.
Tom Anderson.
Who did? What's that?
Nobody said that was their favourite. Very, very few. 99%.
Oh no, loads of people. I don't think. No, you haven't looked at the comments.
I thought I had, and I thought loads of people were saying they love the Tom Anderson or the Sir were their top one.
Well, when you were playing the Shabat, it reminds me of my K-line. They don't look anywhere the same, but the tonality you were getting was like so similar to my K-line. It just, I don't know, just something about it just reminded me of it, like when you were playing, and just the character of it.
Yeah, the vintagey, the vintagey sort of character of it.
Yeah, especially when you were describing it against the Tyler, which I'm in the same boat. My Tyler is a completely different universe from this guitar.
But it's a modern, super accurate, uber tight Ferrari versus a 250 GTO vintage, but you wouldn't change it for the world.
Yep, totally agree. And one cannot replace the other.
No.
And yet, and I totally get why you've kept both of those over the Sir, which is a beautiful instrument. Of it, the Polyphia, whatever, Polonium or whatever it's called, Sir. And as much as I loved the Tom Anderson acoustic, all that lovely brightness and resonance went away when you plugged it in.
Oh no! I mean, I think
it's a great guitar, but you didn't. All that lovely open sound that you had acoustically for an electric went away as soon as you plugged it in.
I disagree. I think the Tom Anderson had a sound about it, a really good sound about it. For me, it was just too easy to play. I thought it sounded fantastic. It was just.
I thought the Sir and the Anderson had a more I don't want to say clinical sound.
Yeah,
but probably more clinical. So I guess that's the only way I can describe it.
Without doubt. Without doubt. Yeah. Dave, since I've been gigging the Tonex, I've found less is more. 5 patches using the same amp, a Marshall Super Lead with Celestion Creamback, Room IR, and your match this with the same Celestion IR. Awesome. Yeah, I agree. Less is more. Just, we should be playing, not
even to quote one of our contemporaries, Mr. Cordy said when he did his Tonex live kind of video, he said there is something to be said for using the same people's captures. So if you're gonna do a clean, a dirty, a clean, a grubby, and a dirty, use the same brand of captures because they're all done in the same way using the same processing. And there's a lot to be said for that in continuity. Even if you chose to use our Fender Twin for the clean, our Plexi for the grubby, and the Marshall or the Soldano for the Super Lead, the high gain lead stuff. There's a continuity between them because we did them using the same kit. Whereas if you go between Tone Monkey's clean, our grubby, and Worship Tutorials leads, there's gonna be more of a variation, and it's not going to be quite so cohesive as one guitarist's sound. That makes total sense to me.
Yes, I agree. Ali says, I want a professional multi-effects unit. Should I get an FM9 or wait to see what the new Helix Stadium brings? You can't go wrong with an FM9. It sounds amazing. I don't know how the new Helix is going to compare.
Everyone I know who uses Axe-Fx says they be it. Was it an AC8, the old one?
Yeah, AX8.
AX8. Mate of mine I was talking to last night. He still uses his AX8, and he's on some of the biggest show tours, West End style show tours, and that's what he uses. And he said it's amazing.
Great.
And he's still, and that's old tech now. But it still
I'd go and get an FM. I'd go and get an FM9. Clemson, he said, after watching Paul's review of the Sunilab Stomp Station last night, I went straight away to Reverb and bought the only one listed. I'm looking forward to exploring the NAMM captures. Thanks. Oh, nice one, Clemson.
Cool.
Nice one. Glad you got something out of it. Shahar says, optimist, glass is half full. Pessimist, glass is half empty. Realist, that's piss in the glass.
Well, if you will drink Carling, Shahar.
Yeah. Well, he says, here, lads, full feet. Sorry. God, I can't even. He said, Willie says, here, lads, feet smell, but noses run. Explain that.
Can't.
Very good. That's good. Deja, if the nibs were shaped around the smaller frets, the nibs may look a little smaller in context to the large ones. Should still be comfortable, though. I've had the odd smaller nib here and there. Nice. Miguel, best Les Paul type under 800.
A second-hand Epiphone.
Secondhand.
You wouldn't get an Epiphone Les Paul for 800 now.
Yeah,
You'd
some
have
of
to
them are $599, $600, but they're not the top tier one though.
No.
You could buy an Epiphone Les Paul for 800.
800 what? Shekels?
Well, that's true actually. Miguel's saying 800. 800. That is true.
Krona?
Well, let's put it in pounds or dollars. You know,
£800. All right, an Epiphone Les Paul.
Yeah, I would see if you can get the Epiphone 59 like I have, the custom used secondhand. You could probably get one for around 800.
Yeah,
they're great, aren't they? Yeah, I'm
got the
with
custom bumpers in it.
Yeah, nice. Nick, what is the bridge on that Shabbat? It's Goto 510.
Nice.
Seems to be the trem of choice for sort of these sort of high-end builders.
Is the block exposed in the back, Paul? Can we see the block? So that doesn't have that weird shaped block. It's got a standard block.
Yeah, it's got the standard block. Yeah, the Tyler uses a weird shaped block.
That's why I'm thinking maybe the ball ends were shifting in the back of that one. That confirms that. I think that probably might confirm it actually.
What, in this one?
Yeah, because that wedge shaped one in the Tyler, you notice when you got to pull the strings through, you got to really pay attention that you've pulled it all the way through because it's jammed in there on the Tyler, right? Like with that, that's not how that works, right? It just slides in.
Yes, yeah. I like this trem. I prefer the trem in this than the trem in the. I like what the Tyler trem does.
But that's why I think the Tyler trem is so stable, is because the ball ends get jammed in there the way it goes into that block, and I think that's what adds to the tuning stability.
Interesting.
Nice.
Mike, he says it sounds awesome. It's light for a Les Paul, and the neck is great. So I think I'll change them for 6150s or 6105 and risk the value increase. How much value do you think it will lose? So what is it? It's a Dutch burst, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let me have a quick look.
Do it your burster.
Trying to find the actual.
Find something appealing for Paul to look at.
Dutch burst Les Paul custom shop, isn't it? It is a custom shop, isn't it? I'm sure that they were a limited edition. No, that's tobacco burst. I can't find one. I don't know how much they are. But if you want someone that wants that Dutch burst,
there is the argument that says that anything is worth what the person is willing to pay for it. So if somebody wants that guitar, but they also want slightly chunkier frets and are prepared to pay for it, then you could be on a winner. It's difficult to know.
Adversely, you could find a guy that wants that guitar, perfect condition, unchanged for a collection, and will not even buy it no matter how cheap you discount it because it's been altered.
Yeah, that is exactly what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to struggle. I would buy it. I would buy it, but I wouldn't buy it for the price that another one is going for. Yeah. So, for instance, if yours was $3,000, if one came up for $3,000, I'd probably expect to pay. I don't know. I don't want to say because I think it's going to offend you, but
half.
No, I wouldn't say half, but maybe $2,000.
Ouch.
Because it's and it wouldn't bother me, but it's the resale value that I would then have to pass on. You know, if I decide to sell it at some point, because people don't like change.
Mm. We fear change.
Mendel, love my collector's choice Montrose Gibby. So much I had to take off the pick guard and swap the pickups for Klopman set made after the original guitar set. Nice. Jeff, even though I love the Vega trem, I also love the Goto 510 on my custom Sir. Is that a straightforward replacement for a US 2-point Fender trem? What's that? The Goto 510
and the Fender, and it
I would have thought so.
It might not be. You'd have to check the post dimensions. As long as the post dimensions are the same apart, I think you should be okay.
I'm pretty sure that you could, and that there is a Goto 510 that would fit for that. But yes, I think it's worthwhile doing some work, some research on it. Dave, I have an Explorer with a Blues engine pickup in the bridge at 7.8 ohms. Sounds mint. Nice.
Very nice.
Tony, Sir PT15 or Bogner 50-watt ecstasy. I'm after an amp with great cleans and fat, gutsy dirt tones. Any thoughts?
Bogner every day of the week.
Every day of the week. Yeah, every day of the week. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely between those. Mike the Bike. Gary Moore was the reason also to buy my 2007 Explorer 76 Natural, but I changed the pickups to Sir Thornbuckers. Nice.
Ooh, I bet that sounds killer.
That's a really good choice to do, actually, isn't it? Put Thornbuckers in it.
Yeah. That's what you should do, James.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That would be a great guitar then.
Willie says, any suggestions for a budget-friendly 7-string guitar? I know nothing about 7 strings.
Is Willie in the States? Where's he at?
Scotland, we think.
Scotland.
I was gonna say, if you could budget friendly, if you could find like a company called Agile, or actually even, I mean, it depends on what you're looking at. The looks of solar guitars.
Yeah. What about a JP7?
Sterling. Yeah, there you go. If you're looking for a more conventional look, that would work.
Yeah, that's probably the best. That would be the most, and it's gonna be a great guitar because those Sterlings are really good.
Or see if you could find a secondhand Paul Reed Smith. Is it a CE? Did they make a CE in a 7-string? I know they made a 7-string before,
I don't
and
know.
it was an inexpensive one. Yeah, inexpensive in accordance to the rest of the line, but
it wasn't the Mark Holocone, was it?
I think so. Is that the guy? I don't know. Yeah, we'll try that. Or Schecter. Schecter makes a few 7-strings that are not super expensive that look decent.
Yeah.
Nick, I don't like how the bridge looks on the Luke. Yeah, that's the only ball. Huh?
They look covered, don't they? They look like a covered bar.
It's got a platform that comes off the back.
Yeah.
He kind of hits that when he's doing like chatters with it. He hits it.
He
hits it with his palm, so he doesn't need to get to the bar. So he can kind of like use that as like a vibrato. It's not bad. It doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
But I know what he's saying.
I wonder if you could. I wonder if there's a Goto 510 that would fit on those Lukes.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I never suggest any of that to anybody because I always get scared that the measurements are not exactly correct. Just do your due diligence and measure before you change anything.
Yeah. Vinny's right. My desire for an Explorer is because of Tommy Bolin. I later discovered that his was actually an Ibanez Destroyer. They were just an Explorer copy back in the 70s, not like the pointy 80s thing. Yeah, it wasn't. Didn't Phil Collin from Def Leppard? Didn't he play a Destroyer as well?
Yeah, not to be confused with the guy who plays drums in Genesis.
Oh, sorry. I didn't think you changed the message. Mike says, "I'm loving my Luke. One of the most comfortable guitars. When I bought it, I thought, why all the guitars are made like this? The playability of this guitar is fascinating. Nice. Wes, cool Super Strat video. Cheers, mate. I have a custom shop 59 Strat. That is the most amazing Strat I've ever played. But a Super Strat would be a fun sibling for it. Nice." Very nice. Gary, James, I've got a Luke 3 Ball Family Reserve if you're interested.
Oh, that'll be that's a nice one.
I had one in olive gold with a rosewood neck. It was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about some of the older Ball Family Reserves is
that Ball Family Reserve.
Yeah.
I hate that. But I don't think the 3 would have. I think that was an older thing that they used to do.
Gary, reach out to us via the contact form on the website.
Yeah. Wes, my custom Strut has Ybarra Fat 50s. Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Hollywood. John Cordy K-Line #1 has Lola Dirty Blondes in them. Nice.
That's what's in my Nash is dirty blondes in the neck in the middle and a super in the bridge.
Paul, what happened to the Friedman Strat? Did you send it back in the end? It is boxed up because I can't afford it. And if I get it out again, if I keep playing it, it will upset me.
And I got 5 guys in a van waiting for Paul to head to the store with that to ship it out, and we're gonna hijack them and take that guitar.
Yeah, so I'm sending it back because I can't. So I'm sending that one back because yeah, it was a fantastic guitar. So if anyone wants it, let me know. Get in contact, and I'll put you in contact with the guys at Friedman.
I really like that guitar. Now, let me ask you this: is it all that playing wise in a bag of chips, or is it just good looking? Is it like, you know, a really, really good looking broad, but kind of like stupid, or is it really good looking and smart all at the same time? You know what I mean?
No, come on. As we all know, there's a scale. There is a scale.
Yeah,
Scale. Come on.
I love the look of that guitar. I think that guitar is beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
But I like that one too.
Yeah, so this is another one that I need to review, which is the HSS version.
I love that.
So I'm going to be doing that next week. Again, they're all brilliant. They're all brilliant. Really resonant. Really bloody hell.
I remember your first one. You had a black one of those.
I did have a black one of them, yeah.
And the pickups were microphonic as hell.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it was just that guitar or whatever, but now I want this one.
All the Freemans, is it not staying in tune? Same thing?
No, it's great. No, I said I want this one.
Phil's
now he's in. Phil says, Willie, Axe Effects Mark III, Mark II Turbo is $2,500 plus shipping.
Woo. In the States.
In the States. I think they're about the same in the UK. Willie says, I'm in Oktamukti.
He's in Oktamukti because someone said the last time I went to Oktamukti, I said, wear the fox hat.
Where's Oktamukti? Scotland. I don't know what Oktamukti is.
I said, wear the fox hat. Oh, bless him. He's tired.
I still don't get it.
Moving on.
Where the fox? What's Oktamukti got to do with the fox hat?
Never mind. What? Say wear the fox hat fast.
No, I get it. I get that. What's Oktamukti?
It's a place.
What's that got to do with?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Deja. I'm definitely going to use that Shabat finish as a reference point. I love to spec out a guitar with that. I've got an ESP Viper that needs a refin. It's not easy guitar to color match appropriately. Yeah, I think that finish is going to be quite a pricey finish.
Yeah, that metallic paint's expensive. Deja, I have a question for you. How do you like the ESP Viper? And does it have that elongated feel like a regular SG? And does it neck dive? If you want to throw that down there somewhere so I can read it at some point. Appreciate it.
Duncan. Well, just seen that PMT ceased trading. Another one bites the dust. Yep. It's sad, isn't it, Duncan? Yeah. Vice Trucci. Speak the nibs. When is Lee coming back on?
Poor Lee.
Lee's on tour. Lee's living the big time. Lee's
in the back of his mate's transit.
In the back of a transit. 50 years old. All three of them cuddled up in sleeping bags in the back of the transit.
Well, you know, there's got to be some pros.
I don't know how he does it, man. I'm 50, and if I even had to play a gig, I'd be like, I got to load this amp in the car. I don't want to go. Nick,
yeah, Dagan posted as well. PMT is gone. Well, do you know what? Luckily for Dagan, if he starts up his own channel, I don't know if he's got his own channel, but he would.
His skill set is very desirable.
It's very desirable.
Yeah, and he could start a channel and be great,
huge in no time.
Good. Yeah,
I don't even know why he hasn't. If he hasn't, Travis, thanks guys. So custom shop Telly or custom shop Les Paul is the way to go. It seems custom shop Telly.
Les Paul.
Custom shop Telly.
Les Paul.
You can do everything on a custom shop Telly and more. Mike the Bike, there is one used on Max Guitars for €10,000. Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Shall I have a quick look? Max.
What are you talking about? The Les Paul that you were talking about before?
Max Guitars Dutch Burst.
Oh, don't touch that then. Don't.
Yeah,
No.
let's seriously. If you
10
are,
grand, 10 grand changes the deal, doesn't it?
Yeah, just put that in a case. Don't even look at it. Just close the case and just don't touch it.
Don't even take the ticket off it.
No.
for some reason, I can't even get into that. If it's worth 10 grand, you are crazy if you're going to change those frets. Because
That's inheritance territory.
Because the only guy that's going to buy that from you is a dude with money, and that dude with money wants it unchanged.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do not touch that guitar. As sad, as terrible as that is to say.
Just go buy a
PMT
standard Les
website.
Paul, mess with it.
Yeah. Yeah. But back, PMT website is now down, James. Did we check before we went on, didn't we? And you said
We did.
was,
Hang on. I'll do it now. Nope, I'm still in.
yeah, it's still in.
I can still get in.
Maybe it's your cookies.
We go up. Me do it on another page. Hang on. PMT online. It's still up and running.
Vinny's got his legs out again. Start running. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's still running for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the pale as hell. That's what happens when you wear pants for 30 years at work.
Yeah.
It means trousers, boys and girls.
Yeah, trousers for those of you guys over there.
Why Miss YDT? Where'd the Freeman go? Notice it wasn't in the super strat. It's not a super strat. It's not a super strat. It can't be included. Ali, did Ben? Hi Ben. Do you remember the name of your vid with the Lola pickups?
It was. I think it was a Nash video. My Nash video.
Yeah.
It's recent. It's only like a few weeks old, I think. Hold on, I'll try to find it.
Miguel, hi guys. A lot of time out here. Have you ever tried a Les Paul recording? I'm in love with that guitar. Would love to know your opinion about it. Greetings. I've never tried one. It's not really my thing. It was a Les Paul with all the clever switching on it and stuff.
Nah.
Funny looking thing. Deja. Nick, Dagan was great personality in the demo space. Hopefully he can land somewhere. I never expected PMT would go so soon. That's true. I mean, Dagan could go to, you know.
He could start his own channel happily. His own boss.
It's called Nash Guitars in my channel. It's the yellow thumbnail thing.
Here we go. Awesome.
There we go.
Nick, got to go Schecter for a 7-string. Nice.
Yeah, good shout.
Dave, Van Halen used to play 70s Ibanez Destroyer with Super 70s in it that he customized, and it is on the front of one of the Children First. Nice. Willie, Anton's posted a strap video today. Copycat wee jobbies. Yeah, they get lots of views. Anton,
well, we go, they lead.
Jobby. I love that. I love that Scottish word, jobby. Anton, opinions on Goto 510 Trem versus Wilkinson WVS 50 UK, please. Great name convention, Trevor. I have no complaints with the WV50, but it's a Goto better. I think the Go. Well, look. So on this Sir Pete Thorne, he uses the Wilkinson. I don't know if it's that particular Wilkinson. He really likes that.
I think it's the next tier up in the models.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
The Wilkinson was great. I mean, I've tried a couple of Wilkinsons. They seem great. I would always go for I'd always go for the 510. All of the top end guitar manufacturers tend to use a 510.
Okay, so I'll say something about the Wilkinson. The Wilkinson has got the little Allen key adjustment for the saddles to do the intonation, where you don't have that on the 510. You just have the screws in the back like a regular Strat. It's easier to actually set this up. It's quicker than it is for the Wilkinson.
There we go.
So there you have that.
Yeah.
But Wilkinson stuff's great.
Yes, they play nice.
Jeff says, I think Mike the Bike may be onto something. I have a set of Thornbuckers in a crappy 150 kit SG that mostly decorates my office wall. Ready and waiting for a new home in Explorer. Nice.
You know, you're saying about like kit guitars, and I know you did that V, Paul. Ben rocked up today with a P bass kit, one of the Toman P bass kits, and he said the pickups were $5 from a Chinese thing, and that was one of the best sounding P basses. We ended up sticking a duster in the bridge to get that kind of really dubby sort of dum 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 sound.
Yeah, nice.
Awesome,
Nice.
really awesome noise.
Awesome, great. Hollywood, the Les Paul fret debate. Oh, please, if it's worth 10 grand, that scares me. You're going to lose all that value.
Yeah, don't
touch it. Tony, the FM9 is a sweet spot on the Fractal range. Portable and nearly all the options of the Axie app. I agree. Yeah. Hollywood, what if you change the frets out to 6105s, then change them back out to the original fret size before reselling?
Oh, that's a lot of mess.
You're not going to keep them. I mean, the nibs. Sometimes you can keep nibs, the fret nibs on a Les Paul.
And let's not forget where the frets bite into the wood in the slot. Is going to get it. You can only do it so many times before things start to really go stupid with them.
Don't.
Not on a 10 grand guitar. Just
Yep. I bought an SG a year ago, but it's not for me, says Willie. They take a lot to get used to. Because of the actual positioning of it. It just feels like
over here.
It feels like it's sort of like you go like, oh, I'm going to play an A chord, and then you're playing it's the other way around. No, you play a B, because it just feels like that is where if you're used to, if you have like muscle memory, it messes it all up.
Yeah. You need a World War II tank team to operate it. One guy's got to be up by the cowboy court area to get the chords done. Somebody else has got to tune it. Somebody else has got to hold it up so it doesn't nosedive onto the floor. It's like,
it's true.
They sound killer. They sound great.
They do sound killer. Yeah. Keith, evening chap. Sorry for being late, but I was offered the opportunity to do some reverse Canterbury pleasure place with some ladies. I don't know what that is. That sounds like some nasty euphemism down on there. Turns out it's a bell ringing method. Can't be disappointed. Damn.
Some reverse Canterbury.
Hey, I'm bloody 60 and still have to load up the cars with lights and the PA and my guitar stuff. Still got a rock, lads. True, Dave. Well done, Dave.
Damn right.
Well done, Dave. Bumping into that sound podcast. Hi, guys. Any chance or plans to do a demo on the PRS DGT 15 amplifier? No, nothing at the moment. Yeah, we've got a demo coming out of the HDRX 20, but not the DG15. We'll keep an eye on the prices, and if the prices, because we're not in with PRS, but we'll keep an eye on the prices. If the prices come down, we'll get one.
And from what I understand, with both of those amps, they really need to be kind of cranked up for them to sound good.
Definitely.
They're definitely not a bedroom amplifier.
The HDX20 needs to be driven within an inch of its existence to sound.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing unless it's cranked.
Yeah.
Deja, it's a sit-down guitar for me. I'm not willing to drill a strap button closer to the tip of the horn. An ESP Viper with a fairly heavy body might work out better. Cheap deal due to major ding. Nice. Graham, Dagan already has a channel. It's really good. Fantastic.
I would tell Mike to keep that custom shop. Don't mess with it. Go buy a Nags secondhand for a major discount. Get a Les Paul shape one. They have carved tops and they come with fat frets on them and everything, and rock the hell out of that and just save that other one. So that's a good cash cow for later on.
I completely agree, because that guitar is going to accumulate money as well. PMT site, including individual store pages, were down 30 minutes ago, but they're back up again now. Strange. How weird. Deja. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but Dagan posted a video recently about prepping guitar for his upcoming performance at Download Festival. Nice. Who's he playing for? Awesome. What do you guys think of Synergy compared to full-on amps?
Love it.
Synergy stuff's great. Is it exactly the same as, so if you've got a Friedman, we said this before, if you've got a Friedman B100 and you've got a Synergy with the Friedman module, is it the same? No, but it's pretty close.
It's still really good.
Still very good. Keith, Floyd Rose Railtail dive only trem. What do you think? I don't know that.
I never used one, but they look really well made.
Where's God? I did my sorry, my throat's going. I did my little SG special. I did have to shield the control cavity though. It was so noisy before. Ben. Hello, Ben. How you doing? Mike, I don't find too many nags in Europe, especially in Greece.
You know, these guitars are really well made, man. And I have to say they sound great and have a lot of mojo and stuff. But like this guitar here was brand new retail. I didn't pay, but I got it secondhand, but it was, I got it mint from a collector. They're like 4,500 US. And if you had to resell this, depending on how the market fluctuates with these things, you're lucky if you can get $2,000 for it. It ain't worth selling.
Yeah.
No.
Nags have very little secondhand value, but really great guitars.
Got my vote on the
buying...
Nick. Sorry,
what's that?
No, I actually just read that and just shouted out like, you got my vote.
I'm thinking of buying a Nick Huber Orca 59 this winter. Yeah, fantastic. I don't really like the pickups that he puts. They're amazing guitars, some of the best guitars ever. Just don't like the pickups he puts in them.
Gentlemen, we made it to the end. We've done it. We got there.
Awesome.
There have been no moments of stupidity this week, so there is no stupid comment of the week because you're all far too sensible, apparently.
Yeah.
Who knew? Thank you very much to Vinnie the Axe for joining us all the way from
always a pleasure.
Downtown Florida.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back. We won't be back next week.
Well, hold on. Let's not say never. We'll decide that in the week.
You decide that. If you don't see us next week, we'll see you the week after. I will be live from Birmingham that week because I'm in the travel stodge. That's where I'll be.
Nice.
But take care, everyone. Have a great week of gigging and stuff, lifting amplifiers or whatever you choose to do. And we will see you very, very soon. Night, everyone. Take care.
Cheers, guys.
See you.